Right, so firstly, for the switch, what we want to do is cut ourselves a piece of wire a little bit longer than we need it, about 11 centimeters or 110 millimeters. I'm going to trim it down so we end up with bits of wire about that long. We then want to trim the two ends of the wire. We'll strip the insulation off both ends on one side of the black wire and one side of the red wire, like such. Make sure it's multi-core wire. Obviously, that's best for this. We want to twist these together. Twist them together like that. Twist that together so that the strands don't come apart. We then want to clip these together in there like such. And a little bit of solder on the tip of the soldering iron. And tin the end of the wire like that. Like that. So you end up with two bits of tinned wire. It looks like that. We can trim these down now. They don't need to be that long. So trim that down to about that length. About that length, like that. We're then going to get our switch out. Obviously make sure the switch is nice and neat. And we're going to clip this in place there like that. And we're simply going to tin these two ends over there. Heating them up again, same as before. Put a bit of solder on there. And again, a bit of solder on there. Let that cool down. With the switch, it doesn't really matter which way around the wires go. You can put them either way around. It doesn't matter for now. Again, we're going to solder this. Be careful not to hold too close to that because the heat will go up the wire and burn your fingers. So keep your fingers as far away as you can. Rest your arm nicely. And if you can, rest a finger on there if you can reach it. And then it's simply a matter of heating up the two together like that. Keeping them still while they cool down. There's the black wire in place. And again, the same process happens here. The red wire and the black wire are now in place. Again, just check that they're nicely in place. Nicely soldered. That's all good. Right, we're not going to put insulation on here because these are quite rigid terminals, and when we bend them in opposite directions, they won't obviously touch each other, so we won't have a problem with that. The last thing we want to do is cut this down to our 9 centimeters or 90 millimeters. Like that, and strip the two ends of the wires on that side and one that side. And then again, we want to twist these together nice and tight. That'll help you when you're putting it through the hole in the PC board. Nice and tight like that. Right, and there is your switch complete. We're now going to get a PC board. On the PC board, you can see there's SW for switch, and you can see it goes around there. There's a little hole on the side there. That is the strain relief hole for the switch. These two wires need to come in through the bottom of the board, like that. Go through that hole. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but it will go through. Pull it through. And with the switch, it doesn't really matter which way around you put the red and the black. So you can really choose into the wires with the switch hole. And you want to make sure you get that insulation as far down to the board as you possibly can so that we don't have any short circuits in the later date. We can then flip that over, put it in the clip, and we can solder off that side and that side. Again, side cutter, trim down the excess because again we don't want these bending over and touching each other, so we can trim off the excess of those and pull that down nice and tight, and we can twist these together like this. Not too tight, but nice and neat, so the wire looks nice and neat. And you can see there is my switch going through there. For the 9-volt battery holder, the wires come up through there and into our 9-volt battery holder on that side, and then we'll have the LED coming out on the opposite side there as well.